Welcome to a new era of transformation where every single millisecond counts. Last night, I went on the Gateway experience and it was absolutely fucking phenomenal, guys. I tapped in like I've never tapped in a while. And this is a good sign. It means that we can not only hack this technology and make it swifter, more effective, much faster than before, but we can also start to understand what our characters really mean in this video game of life. Now, what is this symbol behind me, guys? What is this live today of talking about? We're talking all about the Ouroboros, okay? The Ouroboros. You might have heard of this term before. You might not have heard of this term before. It doesn't matter if you're coming across this for the first time. You're going to learn a lot by the end of today, okay? So get your notepads out. Let's get working on the symbol because this symbol is important to understanding our own path working. Not only do I have a tattoo on my solar plexus based on this, it's such an important theme that I think that if I didn't make one video dedicated to this, it would miss out on a lot of key aspects of what Primal Sutra means and what Primal Sutra really stands for. And the understanding of going back to the primordial, back to source, back to oneness again. Okay. And this is what we've always understood is there's something that is rooted, that is foundational towards our growth. There is something that is already pre-existing, that is there in the background, right? Helping us, moving us towards certain places and dimensions. So, number one, read the disclaimer. Number two, understand this is pivotal to your understanding of Primal Sutra. Okay. Now, the Ouroboros is a symbol, a depiction of a snake or a dragon eating its own tail. Okay. Some believe it's like 7,000 years old. Some people even might have seen it in like uh cave paintings and so forth. Have you guys ever seen let me just see if I can pull this up. But you guys know this armadillo looking fucks, you know what I mean? These guys, the pangolins, okay? The idea of them rolling into each other, right? Like they're kind of like this, right? And it reminds me also of the pine cone, the thematic symbolism of the third eye, the pineal gland, okay? The pineal, okay? Oh, a tiger biting down on the pineal, okay? Hey, this is what my regular Sunday looks like, okay? So, yeah, exactly, right? The Ouroboros. So this is again very symbolic of the pangolins, okay? The different pangolins. Look at this, man. This look like a Pokemon or something. That looks like the cutest Digimon ever, bro. What the world? Huh? Yeah, exactly. This guy. What is this guy's name? Does anyone know this Pokemon name? Probably not. Okay. So, Flight of the Pangolins. That's interesting, huh? So, first of all, we're tapping into this creature's energy. Imagine it just going through different dimensions, hopping astral realms, going into the fortress and out of it. Okay, good. Pangolins. Okay. Next is we've got to understand some of the. Do you guys have ever played, if you're a millennial old soul like myself, you played this game either on the phone or on the old Windows computer? It was the snake game. Do you guys remember this? It was on Game Boy as well, probably. The snake game. The snake had to not eat its own tail in a way, right? So the snake was trying to elongate itself, and it cannot, of course, get trapped by its own knots. And so I mean, its own skin, its own layers, right? Of its tail, it's growing and it's expanding. And so the snake has to find a way to let me show you guys what I mean. Oh, you had to catch this thing, right? This is what it reminds me of. Okay. So you had to like catch this thing, right? And without getting hit with your own tail. Okay, so I think this is very symbolic. This game was using the concepts of the Ouroboros. It was understanding something deeper about the layers of alchemy. Okay. Now, of course, I'm going to go into my Zoom settings now and show you guys something. Okay. This, the Aurora Borealis. Okay. Ouroboros Borealis, more like it. Okay. Because a lot of you see how the background is shifting like that. It's almost like there's dragons behind me. Okay. These green creatures are creating this outcome right now in the sky. It's being seen as swivels of possibility. Okay, in this world. In this world. Okay. In this world. We understand that this is a symbol. Okay. It's a symbol of rebirth. It's a symbol of transformation. That's what we understand. So as anybody who's a transformation specialist, they got to understand this guy. Okay. Now, for me personally, I have the words gatekeeper for mine. That is because primarily the Makara, or the Hindu sea monster, is the symbol that I use for this. So the Makara is the one guarding the temples, or the front of the gates of the temples. Oftentimes you will see these Naga beings, these dragon beings, these sea serpent or sea monster, these figures that protect the temples, right? So this is protecting the temple of my heart. And of course, it's the understanding of the invisible gate into the spiritual world. Okay. It's a spiritual gate, basically. Okay. So if you understand that the Ouroboros is a symbol of a dragon or a snake eating its own tail, I say dragon or snake because let me just pull up a whiteboard. It'll be easier to share on these images. Okay. And I'll also relate it back to ism and biology 101. Okay. So just stay tuned. It's going to be epic. Okay. So number one, we have this depiction. This one really interests me, actually. I talked about it before in a live. Okay. This symbol is a dragon eating a snake's tail. Okay. One has wings, one doesn't. One is the underworld or oversoul. That's the way that we see it in our pathway. Okay. An undersoul and an oversoul. Okay. An underworld self and an overworld or heavenly self. You know, angelic self. We have both of these parts of us, right? So it's the shadow and the golden shadow, right? This one has a crown. It's the shadow and the golden shadow, right? Pulling through this energy. So the fear of our own weaknesses and the fear of our own greatnesses. Okay. Possibility, potentiality, unmanifested form. Okay. So this is one way of looking at it. All right. Now I'm going to give you many different ways because didn't Tutankhamun? Yeah, exactly. Tutankhamun, Tutankhamun more like it. Look, there's a Ouroboros in his tombstone or whatever, right? So this is not only going into the alchemy of ancient Egypt from Kemet, obviously, right? Alchemy, alchemet, okay? A lot of the alchemical systems came from ancient Egypt, if you didn't know that, okay? But of course, even artists like Dali, if you don't know Salvador Dali, the surrealist painter, he also depicted the Ouroboros. Now, what are these things here? These are depicting different things, I believe. Let's see. Dali symbolism. Okay. So what does it say? The Ouroboros, the serpent which devours its own tail, is the most ancient symbol of alchemy. It's also called the paradoxical serpent because it represents a circular process of the alchemist's work. So as an alchemist, you have to do repetition, right? There's many times we have to experiment and try different things out. So it's almost like going through that process, right, is symbolic of this symbol. And that's why Primal Sutra is a process, right? But it's timeless in its nature, because once you begin this process, you start noticing that you're going to keep growing and growing, right? There's no limit to you, really, right? Ouroboros is a dragon, and it's indicating eternity in this case. So Dali was obsessed with time and eternity. You've seen his melting clocks, right? He was obsessed with the idea of timelessness and the idea of really finding secondary meanings, right? Through all of this. So if you notice, guys, the head of the dead serpent biting its own tail. Okay, so let's move to that right now. This, okay? This is very, very powerful. Okay, notice its eyes are like a shimmering emerald tablets of Thoth. Anyone? Okay. This is some kind of a green crystal we're seeing here, okay, in Dali's work. Now, we don't know why that is, but it's interesting, okay? Now, we notice this kind of motif, okay? And what is this? This is a yin-yang, but it's an ambiguous shape of the yin-yang, right? And there are three jewels, and they're purple, if you notice, okay? Well, pink. They're attached to a cylinder arranged in two shapes, okay? So the Trinity is protecting the yin-yang preservation in my eyes. This is what it means, okay? We're going deeper into the layers of this thing, okay? What is it really symbolizing? Now, Dali's closed eye motif, right, is a figure riding a unicorn, if you notice, okay? This is such an abstract vision, but it's a symbol of purity. The unicorn is a realm of the divine, so it is pure light, pure source consciousness, okay? Unicorn also relating us to Pegasus and the idea of that particular symbolism of the lightest, the grace basically within us, right? The Holy Spirit, the light within us, that raising up and being able to find its true north, find its discipline. That's why there's a warrior on there, okay? So then we have the several ants. What the fuck are the ants symbolizing, right? Well, the ants is symbolic, at least through IMC Nation. The ants is very symbolic of the understanding of tribe and tribal mentality, but also the ability to lift something up greater than your size or your capacity. So the ability to really optimize your strength and your resilience, okay? That's what it's depicting here, okay? And the ant realm, maybe he's showing the planet, animal realm, the human realm, you know, the abstract realm, and so forth, okay? So it's really interesting, right? These are symbols of decay and temporality, and they fit this theme of this dead Ouroboros creature because honestly, it's kind of terrifying if you look at it, okay? It's subjecting you to the effects of time, the passing effects of time, right? So I mean, they resemble the slabs of meat similar to the pieces of like a serpent or a fish of some sort, right? But it's interesting because of these semi-precious jewels, especially in the eyes and over here. It's very interesting showing this like this. It's like cut up. It's like we're fragmented as a culture, right? We forgot how to remain in our unity or something. And we've been cut up in these various ways. So to show the linear progression of time, right? So merging spirit and matter. Let me show you guys Akura. This is Ryan G's telepathic ear chakra deity. Okay. He's also called a rainbow snake. Okay. What's a good image of him? There's not really many good depictions of him, but let's find an AI one. How about that? How about that? Okay. So this is Akora, okay, the rainbow snake. He's very well known in Aboriginal works. Okay, he's the rainbow serpent in Aboriginal culture. And it's interesting because what they believe about the rainbow serpent is he's an immortal being. Okay. And this connection between the snake and the rainbow is the cycle of the season. So it's significant to them because it's water in human life. So when a rainbow is seen in the sky, it's supposed to be the rainbow serpent traveling from one water hole to another. That's what they believe. Okay. So there's countless names and stories that are connected to the serpent, obviously. It's said to be the giver of life due to its connection to the water, but it can be a destructive force if it's enraged. And so they had this kind of awe and fear based on Akura. And today, of course, it's all about ceremonies and fertility. And, you know, there will be a lot of stories about the propagation of plants and animals, basically agriculture and stuff like this, right? Creeks, lagoons, producing rainfall. And here's another great one, actually. I like this one. This is a very Aboriginal version. I like these ancient depictions as well as the modern ones, right? We have the modern one above and then the ancient one below. Okay. And I'll just give you guys another rendition of this. Let's just envision him sort of like a dragon. Okay. Okay, let's find Makara here too. This is a deviant art version of Uncle M. Okay. However, yeah, sort of like this. And of course, we have our own path working. Um, you guys have seen I mean, look at my, what do you call that thing? Thumbnail, okay, of this video, my username, profile picture. That's what I meant, right? Just look at my profile picture. You'll find a better image than this, okay? Because I created that image specifically because nobody's giving the Makara that much attention, I don't think, right? In the Vedas and any of the writings, yes, there's some stuff about the sea monster, but there's not much, right? And I'm the living embodiment of these teachings, this energy. So I've got to find a way to keep it timeless in a sense. You guys get what I mean? So what is a telepathic ear chakra? Basically, a telepathic ear chakra is the chakra that's associated with your telepathy. Okay. So it is associated with you hearing into the invisible realm. It's usually used for clairaudience, and I teach people how to fine tune it like a finely tuned instrument. Okay. Going through the gateway process, they also have some great ways of working with the sound, the way that the sound, you're able to hear it. Okay. And so forth. Okay. So yeah, let's move on. Auroral rings, Chinese dragons. Okay. Merging spirit and matter. Merging spirit and matter. Gotta make this way bigger. Okay. Merging spirit and matter. Okay. The paradoxical serpent. That's great. I have a song called Paradox, by the way. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. I'll just show you a little bit. This was, let's see, 5 years ago. So way, way back. Okay. Oh, it's already sped up, right?
what you know about, man. Yeah. Sometimes they say less is more. Sometimes we kind of paradox, you know? Yeah. Everything is nothing at the same time.
Listen to the
To
lyrics.
bring peace, we must war. I don't know, man. Hey. Big ego, but I'm so humble. I act broke, but my money long. I save money by spending money. I'm still right, even when I'm wrong. I hear you talking, I ain't listening. I'm the yang and still the yin. A crazy man, homo sapien, who's an alien, but still fitting in. I'm real good, but I'm bad. Insomniac, but a dreamer. And scared to break the law.
Okay, listen. Big ego, but I'm still humble. I act broke, but my money long. I save money by spending money. I'm still right even when I'm wrong. Do you guys see this?
Yeah. Sometimes they say less is more. Sometimes we kind of paradox, you know? Yeah. Everything is nothing at the same time. To bring peace, we must war. I don't know, man. Hey. Big ego, but I'm so humble. I act broke, but my money long. I save money by spending money. I'm still right, even when I'm wrong.
I hear you talking, I ain't listening. I'm the yang and still the yin.
I hear you talking, I ain't listening. I'm the yang and still the yin. A
crazy man, homo sapien, who's an alien, but still fitting in.
Sapien, who's an alien, but still fitting in. I'm real good, but I'm bad. Insomniac, but a dreamer. And scared to break the law. But everything I do is legal, yeah. Real chill, but I'm hyper. About peace, but a fighter. So legit, I keep it lit. I'm water mixed with fire. So impatient, but I'll wait. Down to earth, but I levitate. So educated, but get ignorant. Feel guilty even when I'm innocent. I just got so many questions, even when I know the answer. I live life on the edge, but not when it take many chances. Not when I go fast, I slow down. What you call that? Paradox. Got a new watch, but no time. You know I'm in a paradox.
It's so funny because the shirt is a paradox by itself. Kanye attitude with Drake feelings. That's like, what the fuck, bro?
You hate and love it at the same time. You tell the truth, but you still lie. You know why? It's a paradox.
Paradox. Yeah, I'm in a paradox. Paradox.
Yeah, we living in a paradox.
Hey.
Paradox. Like what I'm selling. Living in a paradox. I am so sick, but I'm healthy.
I'm so sick, but I'm healthy. Bro, this brings back memories.
So cold that I'm melting. Free music, what I'm selling. I'm really quiet when I'm yelling. I tell the truth when I'm bluffing. Everything I know is really nothing. I live by one rule. That's to ignore all rules. You can see I'm invisible. I'm unseen but detectable. I know you get me and understand me, but I'm an extraterrestrial. I'm just a little too much. I'm doing bad, but I'm okie doke. And when I lie with my girl, then my nose will grow like Pinocchio. Now turn that up, but keep it down when I get mad.
When I lie with my girl, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. Okay, double entendre. If you guys didn't catch that, that was a bar. I'm allergic to myself. Oh, this is great.
I'm asleep when I wake up. I'm allergic to myself. I need help.
No, I don't.
Fast, I slow down. What you call that? Paradox. Got a new watch, but no time. You know I'm in a paradox.
Okay. Paradise, paradox in the beginning, right? All right. So, well, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little, okay, music video. Fire, says Big White. Thank you. So, yeah, everything is a paradox. Okay, everything is this paradox. And once we recognize this in the world, it makes the world a lot easier. Okay, we stop struggling so much. We stop clinging so much. You guys see that? So once we get the way to deal with this, then we can really start to flow with it, because we don't need to latch onto the various ways that things are split or fragmented, or things don't make sense, or they're contradictory, you know? We have to embrace the paradox. And this is the serpent of paradox. So you got to understand how to tap into this timelessness with me, guys. I'm not really focused on the time right now. Okay, I'm here to serve some next level alchemical gold. Okay, now the next way that I want you to think of the Ouroboros is a pre-egoic state. Okay, my spelling could be completely off because I'm writing this. Okay, yeah. Consciousness. Okay. It's a pre-egoic dawn state of consciousness or civilization. That's the way a lot of people have chosen to describe it. All right. Pre-egoic state or a dawn state of consciousness. Okay. So what does this mean? Okay. This is also going back into Freud and Jung, into the beginning of the ego germ, they called it. When you were first becoming fully conscious, when you were a child. And when you were a child, just know that you were free, right? You were timeless. You didn't have this concept of time, like I have to get there at 4:30. You didn't have that, correct? So this is really another way of saying this is just timeless, okay? And timelessness is one of the aspects of flow state, if we know. Timelessness is the whole idea of it. You lose the track of time because you're so wired into the present moment and you're feeling it. You're channeling into this, the nowness, the eternitas, or the word I love to use, now ever. Okay? Now ever. So now ever is the idea of the ego germ in early childhood, and it begins to spread and blossom, right? And it balances old structures and progressive minds. Okay. So would have felt timeless when you were a child. Okay. Timelessness, eternitas, now ever, self-generation, creation and destruction. This is the mystery of cyclical time, guys, which flows back into itself. Okay. It's also you guys know the rainbow spinning wheel of death? You guys know what that is? If you ever work on a Mac computer. Okay, this thing, right? Isn't that a Cora, as we were just talking about? Did you guys get this? Now, I'm going to show you guys something really trippy because you guys don't even know that with the technological world as cyber shamans, there's a lag time when we're working and when we're doing things. And that's why this is also Ouroboros, a loading screen. The loading symbol, guys. Okay? It's the loading symbol. It's the video game loading up the next. It's the pre-conscious mind. Okay? Let's type in pre-conscious mind. Let's see what we can find. Latent parts of the brain that are readily available to the conscious mind, although not currently in use. The loci preceding consciousness. These are thoughts are pre-conscious when they're unconscious at a particular moment, but they're not repressed. Okay, let's see here. Anything else on this? Nope. What is the pre-egoic mind? Okay, I'm just going to ask. Okay, pre-egoic mind refers to a state of consciousness. Thank you. Zengif, I think, helped me find this, in which individuals do not experience a distinct sense of self, often described as a fusion with one's environment akin to the bond between a baby and its mother. The state represents a developmental phase prior to the emergence of the ego, where the sense of individuality and separation from the outside world is not yet fully formed. So you're still in that primal sutra, in that oneness, in that pre-consciousness. You see, you have that caveman essence in the back of your mind, that cave woman essence, that primate, that primal nature within you. Okay. And when you separate from it, when you shame it as a culture, when you say the ego is the shadow is bad, the ego is bad, right? And we make it this horrible thing, it creates more resistance, it creates more clash or collapse, because a basic structure is a circle, but it doesn't represent any time or place or any end. It's just simply the fact that it comes through our own consciousness. The symbol keeps coming up over and over again. The benzene molecule, as someone saw, like Kakule, right? He saw the benzene molecule like this, didn't he? All right. Those of you who don't know. Auguste Kakule, most prominent chemists in Europe. He found the chemical structure of benzene. Kakule's dream. The new understanding of benzene and hence all aromatic compounds proved to be so important to both pure and applied chemistry in 1865. Okay. So here Kakule spoke of the creation of his theory. He said that he discovered the ring shape of the benzene molecule after having a reverie or a daydream of a snake seizing its own tail. Boom. Boom. Even the chemists knew this was a thought form, guys, in the astral world. This was a reverie, a kind of theta state of hypnosis he was in, okay, through the dream. Okay, when your ARAS, okay, ascending reticular activating system gets inhibited, your ARAS gets inhibited, there's some issues, okay? Sleepy boy, all right? ARAS and its role, okay? Let's see this. The ARAS is a system in the brainstem of vertebrates that regulates consciousness, arousal, and sleep-wake transitions, guys. Okay? So it plays a behavioral role in arousal, attentional mechanisms, respiration rate, cough response, cardiac rhythm, how you chew, right? All sorts of things, but it's also responsible for these sleep and wake states. Okay? So this man, okay, had discovered this through a dream. Through the astral world, through the dream realms, okay? So, I mean, of course, it can represent an ideal state of being in certain spiritual or psychological frameworks, right? Of course, sharpening your consciousness, refining it, doing the process over and over again, right? Loading, it's loading. My results are loading. My results are loading. Okay. Now, some people may even see this as like a symbol of self-containment. Okay. Like a self-containment and a self-regeneration. So a circle, sphere, and round are all aspects of the self-contained. Okay. A circle, a sphere, something spherical, and round are all aspects of the self-contained, which is without beginning and an end in its pre-worldly perfection prior to any process, eternal, for in the roundness there is no before, no after, no time, no above, no below, no space. It is shunya, the zero. Okay. Now, what does this remind you of, guys? Does anybody know what the word enso means? No, I'm dropping some knowledge for you guys, okay? Knowledge. Better than Ty Lopez. That's for sure. Okay. Look, Enso, okay? The Enso symbol. I love this symbol because it's done through a calligrapher's quick, swift wrist movement. Through one movement, they got to make that symbol. Okay? It's the Zen circle. It's the supreme symbol of Buddhist enlightenment. It is right from the beginning. It was compared to a bright full moon or a round mirror. Okay? Now, Nagarjuna, if you don't know who's, he brought the secrets of the Nagas into Buddhism. Okay? Whenever he taught in public, a master would appear at this luminous circle in order to reveal the true form of Buddha nature. So he said, neither large nor small, neither wide nor narrow, neither good nor bad, neither transient nor eternal. So Bodhidharma, who is like the patriarch of Zen, you could say, or just like the originator of martial arts, the original, okay, the OG. In a way that Buddha is described as a circle that's like vast space, lacking nothing and nothing in excess. So in short, Enso, the symbol that you're seeing, okay, it defines a Zen state of mind, okay? So it can be written in the air, it could be drawn on dirt, it could be brushed on paper. But the Zen painting was almost certainly an Enso, a brush for a student who needed something concrete to contemplate, a visual expression of enlightenment. So this can actually help you what? Study greater. Simple. Okay? It makes you more profoundly wiser because of these ancient teachings associated with the symbolic representation of Enso. So clearly it's the individuality which they brush their ensos that shows the master style, because some Zen circles are perfectly symmetrical, others are completely lopsided, some are done in a bold stroke, some are composed of 2.5 circles, some are thick and massive, others are delicate, thin, fragile. Okay. Most on the left-hand corner of the paper are working from there, others are working backwards, or they're starting from top to bottom. So some paintings are very mysterious, vulnerable, naked, but they serve as a hint to the meaning of the circle. I am the only honored one in heaven and on earth. So that was Shakyamuni's bold declaration at the time of his birth. Okay. Buddha. And there's a Zen poet who goes by the name Han Shan, who says, my heart is like the autumn moon. So he compared the Enso symbolizing the moon mind of enlightenment, or the subconscious power, the lunar consciousness, right? Which is, again, the feminine. Because the feminine, what does it do? It gives also birth to life itself, the revolving, it passes on the cycle, right? Women are the ultimate gatekeepers, right? Okay. The revolving cycle or circle of human passions. They come and go, representing a wheel. This is samsara. This is a wheel, the cycle of life and death. It keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. You're in this one life now, it'll keep going. This is your parents' face before they were born. That's a Enso koan that I just shared with you. Since humor is also an important, element of Zen. Okay, so there's some kind of people going, is this the top of a bucket? Maybe it's the bald head of a monk. Maybe it's a rice cake. Maybe it's the moon. Maybe, okay. That's a huge part of Zen is sense of humor, okay? I don't think you know anybody who's teaching Zen who's making it all serious. Because even Soen Roshi said, the brilliance of the truth reveals all. Nothing can be hidden, and once fruits, good and bad actions will be known. Or from a Zen perspective, he's saying this sun, Enso, symbolizes the perfect clarity and all-embracing nature of enlightenment that results in awakened acts. Okay? So, what is this? That's left up to you, the viewer. Because one Zen master, as he said, I don't know either. Okay. I don't know, and I love it. It's the unknown. I don't know, and I love that shit. Okay? For real, for real. Now, let's pull up some of these other soul-devouring, self-devouring. It slays, it weds, it impregnates itself, right? It's shadow work. It's the subconscious, unconscious, undersoul, superconscious, okay, coming together when there's the both, when there's this guy, okay? So some people believe this is a cyclical manifestation of a hyperloop, okay? A different social phenomena. So this is why we're moving into social September also. You have to understand this. This is you and your pattern of socializing. This is how you socialize right now. And as you keep doing it and repeating it, repeating it, repeating it, you will start to notice patterns emerging that you have to let go and grasp onto again. Let go and then grasp onto again. Correct? This is the endless drilling of somebody who does martial arts. Okay. It's frustrating as hell, but there's glory at the end of that as well. Okay. Now, the Ouroboros is interesting because even the word itself, okay, Ouroboros, okay, wow, what the, so tiny, bro. Okay, three O's. Do you notice it? One, two, three, four O's. Okay, some people spell it like this, so Ouroboros. Okay, four O's. That's interesting, huh? Or gateways. Add text. Remove that. All right, so let's find some other beings, okay, that kind of relate to this whole paradox serpent theme. Okay. Mm, this is a donk. A donk. Okay. A donk is the horned serpent held by Cernunnos. Okay. Um, let's just say all right, this energy. Okay, this is Cernunnos. Okay. Sort of like Pan. You could think of him as the representation of nature as well. Okay. Cernunnos is a very interesting deity. Okay. Um, he's a god depicted with antlers, oftentimes associated with stags, okay, horned dogs, bulls at times. He holds a bag of coins or grain and something called a cornucopia. So cornucopia is a horn that's a symbol of abundance, a nourishment, okay? So clearly there are his energies in and around all these different areas. Hold on, guys. I have to tune into this thing right now. 1 second. Okay, cool. So he's associated with dogs, bulls, okay, this kind of stuff. And he's a Celtic god. He's a proto-Celtic god, actually. And he's a very interesting character. Okay, kind of reminds me of a bit of a trickster energy as well, like Pan or Loki, like kind of like that. He also is associated a lot with the sexual energy, sacral chakra energy, uh, the Buddhic posture. Okay, or the symbol of uh, the Buddha. Okay, the wandering ascetic monk. Uh, He used the Buddhic posture, okay? And of course, some people compare him to Janus, who is, okay, among the, Celtiberians or the Celts. Janus type vibe, they have an aggressive power, a genetic vigor, a fecundity to them, okay? So Jupiter, okay, the Roman god of conquest, and Mercury, of course, Hermes, Dispater, right, or Rex Infernus or Pluto. Julius Caesar, who I'm very connected to, and you know, his path working in connections. And those who know, okay? That's also a nickname for my what, okay? So the horned serpent is held by Cernunnos. Apophis, okay? There is some kind of a phallic male symbolism to this, right? The serpent. Apophis, okay? Apophis is basically called Apep or Apoph. This is an Egyptian deity of darkness and disorder, right? So the opposite of light and Ma'at. So because Ra or Re was the solar deity, bringer of light or the rays, he's the upholder of Ma'at, and Apep was viewed as the greatest enemy of Re. So the Lord of Chaos was seen as a giant serpent, okay, an evil dragon named Apophis. Okay. Next, we have the understanding of Jormungandr, right? Jormungandr. I'm going to show you guys something very trippy for you adepts. You guys aren't going to believe this. Okay. So this Jormungandr, okay. What is Jormungandr? If you guys don't know, it's in Norse mythology. He's an unfathomably large sea serpent who dwells in the seas, and he basically holds the world, right? He encircles the realm of Midgard, and he's you know, he's sort of the evil serpent that bites his own tail, okay, in the Norse myth. So it's always associated, like the serpent is associated with time and timelessness because it's biting its own tail, this auto cannibalism or whatever the fuck it's doing, right? This is almost symbolic of the Kukulkan, right? Or Quetzalcoatl of the Aztecs, or the rainbow serpent, Makara in the Aboriginal. It is connected to Ananta, who in Hinduism, or Adishesha, okay, who holds the planet in a sense, okay, that energy, the planetary forces. The Ouroboros forms the part of the foundation for which Earth rests. So it's even the Mitraism, Zurvan, okay, symbolizing. Have you guys seen this one? No? This is one version of him. But he's the Persian god of time, okay? Also depicted as a very demiurgic kind of figure, right? Looks kind of like a seraphim Marbus, like a version of like if the demonic Marbus became light in some way, right? Or maybe it's just a dark primordial god. Who knows? Probably. Zurvan. Let's look up a little bit about Zurvan. God of infinite time and space, father of the good god Ahura and Mazda, the evil and the evil god Angramanyu. Zuron means the one, aka alone, the deity of matter. Oh, this is like I believe this is a symbol of second. I believe there's a symbol of the two opposites representing, you know, he's actually regarded as a neutral god, okay, without gender, without passion, no distinction. He's just the god of destiny, light and darkness, the god of the four elements. You know, he doesn't have a kind of a very specific thing to him like that, but it's an interesting idea, right? There's depictions of where there's a snake in circling around him. Okay. So, okay, very similar to this. So there have been a lot of symbols of time in our path working, okay, including if you ever guys ever see spiders, okay? Spiders symbolizing eight, okay? As well as the 8 octopus, the octopi, okay? So infinity, okay? And let's see here. I guess we can also put a spider's image here. As long as someone doesn't have like spider phobia on our path working or something. Is anybody scared of like insects and stuff? No. We're pretty brave over here. Okay. So Ouroboros, right? And this is just a depiction of time, okay? Passage of time. All right. Sweet. Okay, Zurvan. That was the name. The names I'll make sure you just write down and take notes as I do this, man. Okay. Who was this one? This was Jorgen Munda. Okay. Jormungandr, my bad. Fun to say. Okay, always fun to say. All right. So, this is also, I mean, if you really believe in all this stuff, you probably end up following flat Earth after some point, you know, because you, I'm not a flat earther, but I'm just saying, like, just to know about the Hyperborea and like the different ways that the planet is split into all of these different densities and dimensions, you understand that there's something greater going on than just a round globe. You know, that there's something deeper. There might be hollow earth, there might be inner earth, there might be different ways, different portals to the center of the earth, whatever. We've thought about this for a lifetime and millennia, right? And the Mesoamerican cultures is also very moving into this, right? So it's almost a moving away from Newtonian ways, right? Or linear ways of time and understanding time, right? So away from the Newtonian ways into more quantum ways. That's what we're trying to do at Primal Sutra. We're trying to move away from like, oh, peak performance has to look like this. Just do a bunch of reps and that's done. Okay. Break, rest, all okay, yeah. But then you understand something like the flow cycle and it completely baffles your mind, right? It completely takes you into a whole nother universe when you start to understand this thing. Okay. This is next level, man. Because once we understand we are a flow state path working, right? We're peak performance shamans. We're not here just being like lazy fucks, okay? We're getting things done through mysticism, and it's working so well, bro. I don't even know how to stress how bad it's working, how good it's working, right? Bad in a good way, good in a bad way. Super bad. Real bad, man. Okay. Ouroboros! Magic is the mother of eternity, of the being of all beings, for it creates itself and it's understood in desire. It is in itself nothing but a will, and this will is the greatest mystery of all wonders and secrets, but brings itself into imagination, or figuration itself by the imagination of the desirable hunger into being. It is the original state of nature. Guys, healing is returning back to your own natural self. It's not acquiring something. It's a desire, okay? It says its desire makes an imagination. An imagination or figuration is only the will of desire. But desire makes in the will such a being as the will in itself is. Jacob Boehme. Wow. Okay. That's epic. Did someone get a very interesting download as I read this? For some of you? Okay. This is also another Aboriginal snake of time that I found. It's a very interesting one. The cyclical nature of time. Similar to the Ouroboros kind of energy, I thought. This one is another interesting one because in our path we're associated with the butterfly energies, primarily King of Kerbo and the Fae and all of these understandings of this. And it's very powerful to understand that, you know, this butterfly is a symbol of transformation, okay? And this is a symbol of rebirth. So it's in containment. It's transformation in containment, in a container, in a practice, in something that you are doing. And of course, this is all my own interpretation, guys, okay? What, you want to scientifically analyze this? Come on now. Get a feeling, get a sense of this stuff, man. It's all around you. Open your eyes. Start looking deeper. Open your third eyes, man. Like, seriously, look through it. Look, guys, okay? Now, how did I find this? It's from Janus, my deity, who I work with. He controls the beginning and passage of time. Okay? He helps me understand celebration. He helps me to understand different ways to see flow state. Okay? So if we know the flow state has 4 cycles, okay? And this is what I want to say here, okay? So as this is going around, it's the snake eating its own tail. You guys get this, right? So it's going from struggle phase into recovery, into release. Hold on. Why is it not? Come on, man. Smart drawing, does that work better? What the? Never mind. I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to show you guys, okay? With this as a highlighter, okay? So we're going like this, right? Where the snake eating its own tail. So it's going from struggle phase to release phase, letting go. So you have to push and then let go, and then you're in the zone. Then you have to rest again in order to push and struggle again, right? So it's the peering over the edge. So this is exactly where the head of the beast is, the head of the dragon, the head of the snake is the struggle. It's the pushing through, it's the resistance that you feel. It's the hesitation that you feel. It's the anxiety that you feel. It's the fear that you feel. It's the stress that you have. That's the beta brainwaves going off, right? This is cortisol, as you can see, being produced. This requires nitric oxide, letting go blood flow. Exercise does this, right? Alpha waves are being generated through the Silva method, for instance. Okay? Or, you know, many other ways that we can access alpha brainwave states just by closing our eyes, okay? So you can become a biohacker like this by understanding this model and just booming through it. Because really, if you look at this Ayurvedically, okay, if you look at this Ayurvedically, the struggle phase is like Rajas, the Rajasic, the action, recovery is the tamas, the slow moving, the lower consciousness rule, rest, rewind, oxytocin releasing. I'm replenished. Let's get back to work. Okay, it's that. And of course, the flow is the balance, the states of oneness, connectivity, sattva. Okay. This is the balancer, the preservation, the Vishnu in all of this. This is the Shiva nature of rest. This is the Rajasic Brahma creative energy. You need rest, guys. Okay, this is not just a hustle burnout culture. We're not going to buy into that ideology anymore. We're highly awakened, highly attuned spiritual beings here on this planet right now. So we understand we have to create our own systems, our own passages of times, the way that we shift through different timelines so fast is the example of how there's so much symbolism already out there moving us, okay? Moving us and telling us that this is exactly what we need to do and what we need to double down on, okay? I have way too many things open, man. I'm confusing myself. Hold on. I'll just close a few of these down. Okay. I wanted to relate this back to pimping. Okay. Now, why? This is ultimately psychological warfare. Okay. Because you got to understand in the spirit world, you're going to have spiritual warfare. There's going to be people who are going to try to not teach you this stuff. Keep this on the down low, keep you stuck, keep you just cycling the same fucking reality over and over again like a loop. And that's why you're stuck in an Ouroboros pattern of trying to self-sustain, trying to hustle, trying to push instead of flowing and letting the journey happen, surrendering to the divine. Now, how does this relate to pimping? Okay, you got to be a mystery. Don't let your history be a mystery. Okay, your past is there to help you. Okay, say what you mean and mean what you say. These are all isms of pimpology. Okay, the game is to be sold, not told. You've heard these statements before, some of you. Okay, play one hoe against the next. Prosperity over popularity. Okay, show respect to get respect. Trust nothing but the game or law or code, whatever it is, right? If you can see, you can be it, baby. Let's go to Law 44. Okay. Let's go to Law 44. This is the fireman theme again. Law 44. You need fire and desire. Goals are not only absolutely necessary to motivate us, they're also essential to help keep us alive. Robert Schuller, she fucked with me because I got big dreams. T.I. and what's your name? Okay. What's your desire in life? This guy asked him. I had never even thought about what desire really meant, let alone what I desired in life. I was so confused and I made up a lie on the spot. I told him that I'd do something and be right back. I excused myself and asked the librarian if she had any books on goals and desire. And then she pointed to the left and said, these are the best self-help books over there. So I was in the self-help section and found a book, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends. Then he says, I haven't stopped reading that book and I referred to it back into this day. When I came home, I told myself that as soon as I hit the bricks, I was going to get on my feet. Since then, I've had a few bumps on this road. There were times when it seems like I wasn't going to make it. One day I'd have cash, the next day I was broke. One day, everybody loved me. And the next day, everybody hated me. But through it all, I kept my head up and I had a burning desire to win. This is what we need, guys. This is what keeps the Jorgenmonder moving, right? It keeps the snake internally, the beast inside moving, man. Okay? That energy. I look at my life how I used to be, and I think I'm doing mighty good now. So what is the ism? The ism is, as I reflect on the many great men and women who walked this earth, one thing they all had was a burning desire to be fucking great. Anything you do in life begins with a desire. And in the spiritual world, they tell you to chop off your desire at the core. They tell you to just completely remove it. Someone who wants to be the best has to have a desire so strong that it cannot be stopped. It is unstoppable. Someone wrote a comment on one of my old posts. Just stop, man. Ha ha ha. Lol. The Makara is unstoppable, baby. You think I'm going to be stopping? Even if these videos stop, I don't give a fuck. I'll keep going in my head. I'm keep moving. This is the energy, baby. Okay, momentum, movement, procedure, consistency, repetition. It's the Ouroboros all over again. And desire keeps your goals moving down to the road of success. So this is why I relate it back to pimpology. This is why, okay? Because if Dali drew it, it's got to be timeless. Okay? So let's get back into this. I just want to end real quick here. So, of course, in the Chinese system, okay, yin and yang depict these contradictory forces, all right? And let's go back to that Dali one, right? Where the yin and yang is like being held up by this like crystal gem or something. So, in a sense, the Chinese yin and yang depicting the harmony of contrary forces, but it's also the cosmic dichotomy of light and darkness in Machianism and Zoroastrian philosophy, as well as Farvahar. Okay. What is Farvahar? Farvahar is one of the best known symbols of Zoroastrianism, right? Because you might have seen this symbol. Hold on. Haven't you guys seen this? Okay. This is the symbol. So he's known as, it's an Iranian religion, but this is kind of, there's no concrete universal consensus on its exact meaning, but it's very powerful symbolism, right? It's a symbol of Iran. It was used to be a very powerful, it's like it originates as the winged sun, right? So in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, so the symbol comes from the tree of life where the god Ashur was on a winged disc, okay? So Varvahar, you know, he's also has a carving on a coin. It's very interesting. I can show you the imagery. Okay, it's almost looks like this. All right. So it's a symbol of rising, right? And we understand that. I mean, I love the Janus one, man. Janus is the god of doorways, as you know. Where was that guy? Here he is. Right? And we have one right here. Unbelievable. Okay? Unbelievable. I got told this. I know I have a tattoo of this, guys, but again, it's so interesting because this is such a pure divine understanding right here. You guys get that? We're seeing a divine component as well as a human component to this thing. It's eternity now subjected to the passage of time. And we keep seeing this pattern of Enso loading, okay? The cosmic mind and then our physical mind, okay? The as above, so below, right? It's that whole understanding, guys. And it's all coming together to create this momentum. And what is the thing that keeps it going? It is the will. It is the desire. It's that primal essence, whatever you want to call it. It's that orgone. It's that chi. It's that vajra. It's that drive. It's that thing that keeps you going, man. It's that thing that wakes you up in the morning, that gets you excited about life again. Have you ever just like gone into some place and then you just see somebody who's just gorgeous looking? You know what I mean? Like just has that essence, that aura, that glow, and it just makes your day, right? It just lifts you up, it makes your energy raise up. It's like you have to almost understand them you have to enter their world through that pair of eyes or that way or that execution that they have, okay? That's the energy of desire, guys. You desire her. That's why you're reacting like that. That's why you're moving like this inside and fidgeting and squeamish and you know, tapping your foot or something. Okay? I have this restless energy within me too. Okay? My ADHD brain does this all the time, but we need to bring it back, guys. Okay? Attention dial into higher dimensions, not what you think, okay? So it flips around itself, okay, the journey. Because this journey is like this. It's a spiral. It's an upward spiral, gang, okay, as we've always said, okay? So it's just spiraling upwards. And the spiral is another interesting one that keeps coming up because that's the first tech that I learned to heal myself and take back the power into my own hands. It was the spiral system of healing, okay? So this is such a good symbolic representation of the upward spiral because we're starting to understand timelessness, eternity, right? It is the bridge that pulls us up. It is the revving of the engine, the desire that keeps us moving. It is the energy of that rajasic, struggle phase that we have to do at times or push ourselves to do certain things, even if we don't wanna. I don't wanna. I don't feel like it. I don't know. You need rest too. Maybe you need more recovery right now, right? Maybe you just need to rest. Maybe you're going through all healing your core wounds and traumas, right? We're doing that. That's why we feel so tired and low. Okay. So a lot of people right now with these energy shifts and new momentum and energy happening on the planet, they're starting to feel at the brunt of it, right? They're on the back end almost downloading all this information rather than what? In the front lines doing this shit, clearing the shit out, right? That does not serve them any longer. And that's another symbolic thing of this because the snake sheds its skin over and over and over again. Okay. Totem pole, what do you mean, Sam? What do you mean totem pole? Does that have anything to do with it? Is that what you're asking? Okay. Let me know what you mean clearer by that, brother. Okay. Are you asking what a totem pole represents? Are you making a link to it with this guy? Right? Or is that just a random download you got? Right? I'm curious to know. Let's find an image of a totem pole. Okay. Now that you said that. Here we go. All right. Codes of the Hidden Kingdom. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Remember that show? Dang. That looks epic, huh? That looks really epic. Yeah, it does look kind of like I mean, the wings look like a crocodile, right? By itself with the eyes, right? Look, that's powerful, huh? So self-containment, self-regeneration, self-sustaining, right? If you say you're self-made, auto, wait, hold on. Auto is self. in Latin or Greek, I think, right? And telos, goal. But it's more so goal with a drive, right? So we have to be autotelic human beings in order to tap into our greatest gifts. You want to be a musician who's not attached to being in a record label or like playing for that one specific band. You're playing because you love music and you're driven by it. It by itself is your reward, right? It's a self-reward. It's an autotelos. It's autotelic. It's addictive, right? In a good way. You're obsessed with it. It's an energy that moves you forward. Okay. So let's take a good look at this all. And let's just take it all in. Just. That's a lot. Dang, baby. I mean, goodness gracious now. Like, we've gone deep into this topic, right? We've gone deep into this topic. Now, what other things can we add into this Ouroboros? Because I think we've covered it, guys. There's nothing else to add. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know right now in the chat, in the live chat. Okay. Going once, going twice. I'll just wait a little longer. Imagine if you could imagine the microcosmic orbit. That's the download that I need you guys to hear. People who watch these live videos, holy shit, man. They're my real students, man. Fuck. Like, they're getting so much from just one video about the Ouroboros. What the hell? Okay. So, I'm insane like this, guys, okay? I love it. I love the unknown, baby. Let's go. Bring it on. Bring it on. Okay, more chaos, more order for me to do. So, this is the microcosmic orbit meditation where you imagine in your crown and then it's going down and then it's going through your, perineum area, then it's going up again. And guess what? This is how you get into God consciousness, the Tao. Okay. By the way, you guys know people who Mog and Mew and stuff like this? Okay. It is said that if you actually Mew, which is putting your tongue at the roof of the palate of your mouth, okay? I think B is the right one. Okay. This is the right way to Mew, by the way, guys. Okay, B. You got to suck it through the back of your mouth, like, and push it, really let it push up into the palate, right? That controls the energy or the chi, the prana, this microcosmic orbit within your body. Now, what if you envisioned in this path working? What if you envisioned it like a snake or a dragon? Just like going through, of course, you have the dragon like spiraling up like this, like right internally to the top of the third eye and then crown and then so forth, right? This is being energized, right? The 3 points are being energized and it shoots out, and this is where you astral project from and so forth, right? Through the third eye and through this world, this hidden world. And you can inhale to the top of the head, exhale down to the perineum. Inhale to the top of the head, exhale. You know, you can do it with the breath and create a rhythm around it. Creating that spin, creating that infinity to charge you up again. Now, what if you were doing this while you were fucking? This is what Mantak Chia teaches. Okay. Amazing stuff, right? We've covered so much, man. Ism, sexual kung fu, mewing, okay? We talked about octopi. We talked about Sir Nunos holding a snake. We talked about the dawn state of consciousness, right? Or like almost like a almost like a prehistoric energy, right? The okay. I'm guided to read this. Okay, I don't know where this is coming from, but regardless, this is from the Primal Mind. Okay. This is not it. This is not what I was looking for. My bad, guys. Okay. So we know that we have the reptilian brain as well, right? What does the reptile brain do? Survival, simple actions, fixed routines, decision making, social behaviors. Okay? Blinking, flinching, thrusting when you procreate. Okay? Flexibility, unconscious emotions. All right? Random repressed rage that comes up, or like a weird impulse or an intrusive thought, right? It's responsible for your 90% of your decision making. Okay. It only understands messages in absolute terms. Okay. So that means that the reptilian brain controls socially approved actions like handshakes and head nods and bowing. Why do you think we do this in spiritual cultures, right? This is creating an affinity, a bond with God, right? As we place both of our hemispheres together like this, okay, connecting light and dark, we become the midpoint. We become the choice point. We become the surrogate of heaven and earth together. You guys get that? This is how we become spiritual beings on this planet. This is how we awaken on this planet. But we're at a dawn state in our own minds. We're still loading. We're in the loading phase. Okay. So we have to keep eating our own selves, devouring, devouring, devouring until, well, there is no until. It's endless. Okay. So let's get it today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was great. I hope you guys can read my energy, my vibration right now. It's pretty strong. It's up there. Okay. And I'm realizing that there's so much that's just fusing and like broiling underneath the surface of this thing. Okay. Now, I know I didn't really share this with the tribe, but I'm going to share it right now. And whoever's caught the right live replay, dang. Okay. Whew. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Okay. Incredible stuff. Okay. Some of you might have known this, but it's a good revision as well to understand these things. And if you have any other questions, let me know. We work in a path working where we're going to teach you more ancient tech like this, okay, similar to this, and a lot of other things, okay? We teach you a lot. I'm one of the greatest spiritual teachers on planet Earth right now. I highly believe it. That's not my ego talking. I 100% believe that, okay? It's not a belief, actually. It's a knowingness, right? I don't need to believe anything, okay? It's as simple as you showing up and understanding these symbols, not just in plain sight, not just as these vague cave drawings that we once started out with, but the understanding of a circle, that very cyclical nature of it all from start to finish, from beginning of the story, middle of the story, and the end of the story. So be it. Swaha. Amin. Amen. Shalom. Salam. So be it. Swaha. Om. Om. Okay. Thank you guys. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you, and may your life